To understand Alexander the Great's life and achievements, let's begin with his father, King Philip II of Macedon. Philip transformed the struggling kingdom of Macedonia into a dominant force in the central Mediterranean, laying the foundation for Alexander's later accomplishments. When examining Alexander's romantic life, it's crucial to delve into Philip's experiences. In certain aspects, their romantic pursuits were similar, particularly in the practice of polygamy and the significance of marrying multiple individuals for a Macedonian ruler. However, significant differences existed in their romantic lives. In this discussion, we'll explore a handful of captivating tales surrounding Philip's ascent in Macedon. King Philip II was a very powerful leader in ancient times, but his story often gets overshadowed by that of his famous son. Philip ruled over Macedon for 23 years and turned it into the most influential kingdom in the central Mediterranean. To achieve this, he made significant changes to the military, particularly in the army's structure and supply system. One of his notable achievements was the creation of the renowned Macedonian phalanx formation for his main heavy infantry, which played a crucial role in his victories against various adversaries, including the Ardeans, Thessalians, Athenians, and Thracians. However, Philip's success wasn't merely a stroke of luck. It was the result of hard work and strategic decisions. He expanded the size and influence of Macedonia by strategically marrying off his children to the rulers of neighboring countries. While polygamy might have been a political tool used by Macedonian kings before Philip II, he elevated it to a new level during his rule, entering into 7 marriages, most of which were clearly driven by political considerations. 5 of his wives came from royal or wealthy families in nearby countries, not of Macedonian origin. Through these unions, Philip forged alliances with neighboring powers, sometimes even after defeating them on the battlefield. Philip, the ruler of Macedonia, faced complex challenges in maintaining and expanding his kingdom during his 20-year reign. His strategic marriages played a crucial role in securing his northern borders and establishing alliances, but they also brought about internal tensions. One notable marriage was to Audata, the daughter of the renowned Illyrian king Bardilis. Philip's victory over the Illyrians not only symbolized his military prowess, but also served as a means to prevent future invasions and safeguard his realm. Another significant union was with Olympias, the mother of the legendary Alexander the Great. Olympias hailed from the powerful Molossian tribe in the southwest, known as the Kingdom of Molossia. Her marriage to Philip solidified an alliance with this influential tribe. Polygamy was a key aspect of Philip's political strategy, enabling him to forge alliances with various factions. However, the consequences of these unions were multifaceted. While they provided strong allies, they also sowed seeds of discord within the royal court. The question of succession became a pressing issue, with different factions vying for power. Philip's 2 sons, Alexander and Aridaeus, born of different mothers, added complexity to the succession dilemma. The uncertainty surrounding the heir to the throne created an atmosphere of tension and rivalry among various court factions. Philip's cousin, Amyntas, and several daughters further complicated the intricate web of potential successors. Philip's numerous marriages played a crucial role in shaping his nation into a formidable force, ultimately seized by Alexander. However, the inevitable court controversies ensued. The uncertainty of the Macedonian succession added to the complexity, paving the way for Philip's tragic fate. Male lovers. Philip had a multifaceted interest in women. He was fond of his courtesans as well as his wives. He also had several connections with younger men. These interactions bear resemblance to the pederasty that was practiced in ancient Greek city-states such as Sparta and Athens. In the 4th century BC, it was customary for an older male, known as an Erastes, to court a young woman, known as an Eromenos, as a boyfriend. In Philip's account, however, the most notorious younger lover was Pausanias, a Macedonian aristocrat. At Philip's court, Pausanias was a page, essentially an officer or noble undergoing training, but he soon attracted the king's attention and became his Eromenos, or adored. In about 338 BC, during a party for Philip's 7th marriage to Cleopatra, a terrible incident occurred. Philip's former lover, Pausanias, was harmed by a group of people. Attalus, a noble from Macedonia, was the one who started this awful act. After the celebration, Pausanias asked for fairness, but Philip, who was now married to Cleopatra, did not take any action. Cleopatra was related to Attalus, and instead of punishing him, Philip chose to ignore the incident, a bloody succession. Philip's failure to punish Attalus made Pausanias really mad, and he started to hate the Macedonian king a lot. Eventually, this anger turned into a plan to kill Philip. 2 years later, in 336 BC, during a big wedding party in Aegae's theater, Pausanias killed Philip where everyone could see. There's a chance that Alexander and Olympias were part of this plan to kill Philip. It's possible, and the reason for this, as mentioned earlier, is that there was no clear plan for who would take over at the Macedonian royal court. Now Alexander was Philip's son. In recent years, he had been one of Philip's top advisors, famously leading the companion cavalry in the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC. However, Alexander had fallen out of favor with his father. In 336 BC, both he and his mother, Olympias, were sent away from the court for a while. There was no guarantee that Alexander would inherit the throne before any other children Philip might have in the future. Both Alexander and Olympias must have felt threatened by Philip's recent marriage to Cleopatra, a noblewoman from Macedonia. Cleopatra's influential uncle Attalus openly planned for any son she bore Philip to replace Alexander as the heir. According to them, Alexander wasn't fully Macedonian because his mother was from Molosia. In Philip's Macedon, this kind of prejudice was a big deal. By killing Philip, the offended Pausanias put a swift end to any chance of this happening. Alexander the Great is a famous figure from history, and after he passed away, many stories and legends emerged about his life. These tales often mixed real events with imaginary ones, leading to various interpretations of Alexander. People see him as both a hero and a villain, and some even view him as a demigod due to his significant interactions with different countries and societies. When Alexander was about 20 years old, his father Philip died, paving the way for him to become king. Alexander swiftly dealt with potential threats, such as Attalus and his cousin Amyntas, ensuring the stability of his rule. This involved the unfortunate deaths of Attalus, Amyntas, Cleopatra, and her newborn babies. Philip's practice of royal polygamy, accepting multiple wives, made it easier for Alexander and his mother Olympias to eliminate anyone posing a threat to the new government. This method of internal conflict persisted beyond Alexander's lifetime, becoming a common source of unrest in the Hellenistic courts of his successors, including the Ptolemies and the Antigonids. Philip's former lover and assassin, Pausanias, met his end while attempting to flee the theater where he committed the murder. Philip versus Alexander. Philip the king had many lovers, both women and men. He likely had courtesans as well. On the other hand, his son Alexander had a more restrained approach to his romantic life. Historical accounts from Greek and Roman authors like Arrian and Plutarch, along with other existing sources, suggest that Alexander was known for his sexual moderation. While Philip and Alexander shared some similarities in their approach to relationships, there were notable differences. Alexander, for instance, strategically married more than one wife for political reasons, following in his father's footsteps. However, he diverged in his choice of spouses. Instead of marrying princesses or noblewomen from nearby states, Alexander opted for 2 Persian women and the daughter of a renowned leader in what is now Uzbekistan, a woman celebrated for her beauty across Asia. Alexander's romantic interests extended beyond traditional marriages. Similar to his father, he engaged in relationships with both men and women. One noteworthy figure in his life was Bagoas, a Persian eunuch who served as his Eromenos. Additionally, the intriguing story of Hephaestion added complexity to Alexander's romantic narrative. Despite the shared elements in their personal lives, Alexander's approach to intimacy appears more modest compared to Philip's notorious reputation for numerous partners. The dynamics of their relationships in the bedroom reflected a like father, like son sentiment, but with nuanced distinctions. If you found this historical insight intriguing, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, especially if you're a history enthusiast. Stay tuned for more fascinating narratives from the past.